So this is Baruch Fleischman on my new platform here, which is the American Kabbalah Network, learning the Torah from Artikuin Elevator Kollel. And we're learning the Torah of one of my teachers, The Ultimate Connection with God by Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. So Rabbi Mimran is really special type of person, one, from the Midwest that you don't find every day. He wrote this book to try to teach us, and I think it's like possibly a little bit ahead of its time, but we're introducing it, and that's one of the things that we want to do at the American Kabbalah Network, is we want to be able to bring these ideas out. So here we have a concept that Rabbi Mimran loves to talk about. It's called right brain thinking. So I'm not going to read the Hebrew for the interest of time. We'll read the English because his book is in English, and let's see how it goes. The possibility of Dvekus that Klal Yisrael have with Hashem. So it's either Klal Yisrael, all the Jews, or generally speaking, the congregation of all the Jews, even though it seems to be totally irrational that such a thing can be possible, that is, to be Dovek, to the Ein Sof, who is not physical. It's impossible for a person of flesh and blood be connected to the Creator. Nevertheless, the Torah clearly writes, and you are attached to Hashem, your God. This is from the Maharal. If we were to isolate thought, severing its connection to the vast realm of consciousness, that thought would quickly become barren, even insane, and destructive. Unfortunately, we've witnessed the devastating results of this pattern of isolated thought too many times in our world. My understanding is like, Nazism, communism, all the isms out there that people get involved in, trying to make their life seem to be real. But unfortunately, it's an isolated thought. The mind is crucial to human life. It serves a vital purpose. Essentially, it is a survival machine. It gathers, stores, and analyzes information, and it often operates in a mode of attack and or defense against other minds. It can perform all of these functions quite well, but at the same time it has no creative abilities whatsoever. All true artists, whether they are aware of it or not, mine their genius from a realm beyond their thinking mind. They create from a place of inner stillness, a place of no mind. It is from there that they draw their insight or their creative impulse. Only afterwards does the mind step in to give concrete form to this spark of creativity. So even great scientists have reported that their creative breakthroughs have come at times of mental quietude. In a nationwide inquiry among America's most eminent mathematicians, including Albert Einstein, to find out their working methods, the surprising result was that thinking plays only a subordinate part in the brief, decisive phase of the creative act itself. As the ideas come from, they don't come as a result of thinking and thinking and thinking. We conclude, therefore, that the simple reason the majority of scientists are not creative is not that they don't know how to think, but rather that they don't know how to stop thinking. The thinking mind is extremely limited. It is only when human consciousness connects with something far greater than itself, when it connects with the divine, that it becomes capable of real creativity. While we cannot begin to fathom Hashem's limitless creative power, we can glimpse the tiniest hint of it if we look at the miracle of our own bodies, which He created and sustains. For example, how can a single human cell, let's see its size is measuring 1/1000th of an inch in diameter, contain instructions within its DNA that would fill 1,000 100-page books? The more we learn about the workings of the amazing human body, the more we realize just how vast the intelligence at work within it is, and how little we ourselves know. When the mind reconnects with that infinite intelligence, and this is what Rabbi Mimran wants to point us to, because it is there We have to learn how to work around it. It serves something so much greater than itself, and then it becomes a truly useful and most wonderful tool. Mentioned of the Kabbalah are the Spherot. In short, what are Spheros? They are the vessels through which our Creator allows himself to be revealed here in our universe. The Creator, of course, is nothing. They were already mentioned in a very early Kabbalistic work written thousands of years ago called the Sefer Yetzirah, and clearly stated to be 10 in number. Over there it says that there are 10 Spheros. The reason for this emphasis is because a complete set of 10 Spheros represents the metaphoric image of God in which man was created. The Spherot are therefore attributes corresponding to certain elemental functions within the human psyche. So I say this in a little different way, but I think that what he means to say is that Panimi to us, inside of us, is an energy source that flows in the form that we take. Head, body, legs, arms, functions inside our organs, all of that. All of that is a function of a partzuf called the tzilus that brings this light down. So it's 10 in number. They can be divided into two categories. The mind or consciousness and forces of emotions. The human mind, which is called mochin in Kabbalah, is subdivided into 3 aspects, or sphirot. These are referred to, now we're talking about the mind now, they are referred to as Keser, Chochmah, Bina, Chabad, or Chabad, if you're a Lubavitcher. Crown, wisdom, and understanding. Bina, corresponding to the left brain, is defined as the rational, intellectual, and academic brain. It includes the analytical and interpretation functioning. It analyzes. We were created in the image of God, and that image is both our inner image and that of the entire universe. Therefore, as man explores inner space within himself, he is at the same time exploring outer space. Chochmah, corresponding to the right brain, so that was the left brain, went to Bina, is more affiliated with intuitive thinking. It's more like intuition. So he said it also uses a pictorial language, which within a simple image contains a vast amount of information, as opposed to the left analytical brain, that is constantly searching for distinctions between things. The Chochmah brain unites and finds commonalities between things. This brain has the capacity to intuitively feel situations, not limiting it to the basic information masked by the 5 senses alone. So he concludes with this line that we should be thinking about this. All true artists, whether they are aware of it or not, mine their genius from a realm beyond their thinking mind. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kollel, saying this year on the American Kabbalah Network. Thank you for listening.